Today in current affairs, we are going to study about the Sustainable Development Goals India Index 2021, World Bank report on black carbon and Devika River project. Let us start. Recently, the third edition of the Sustainable Development Goals India Index and Dashboard 2020-2021 was released. This was released by Niti Aayog. So, if we will talk about the Sustainable Development Goal India Index, it was first published in December 2018. Since then, every year it was published by Niti Aayog. It became a primary tool to monitor the progress on the sustainable development in India. It has promoted competition among the states and union territories because it ranks the states and union territories on the basis of the goals achieved. Niti Aayog has two main objectives behind the ranking. One is to oversee the adoption and monitoring of the sustainable development goals and to promote competitive and cooperative federalism among the states and union territories. The index has been developed in collaboration with the United Nations in India. The United Nations General Assembly actually has adopted the Sustainable Development Goals and the 2030 Agenda for the Sustainable Development Goals in 2015 with 17 underlined goals. The 17 goals are a commitment towards achieving the Millennium Development Goals. The National Index tracks the progress of the states and union territories on 115 different indicators as per the National Indicator Framework of the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. Now, what is the mechanism of ranking? Let me tell you that the Sustainable Development Goal India Index scores were allotted between 0 to 100. The scores are awarded between 0 to 100. On the basis of the score, the states and union territories are classified as follows. If the score of a union territory or state is between 0 to 49, then they are coming under aspirant category. At present, there are no such states or union territories in this category. If the score is between 50 to 64, then the states or union territories are kept under performer category, and if the score is between 65 to 99, then the states or union territories are categorized under front runners. And if the score is 100, then they are categorized under achievers. And at present, there is no states in this achievers category. So on the basis of the scores, there are 4 different categories: aspirants, performers, front runners, achievers. Aspirants having score 0 to 49, performers 50 to 64, front runners 65 to 99, and achievers having score 100. And at present, there is no state or union territories which are categorized either under aspirant or under achiever. Now, what are the important findings of the index? In the index, first is India's overall Sustainable Development Goal score. So, if we will compare the Sustainable Development Score of India in 2020-2021 with 2019, then India has improved by 6 points. It was 60 in 2019 and 66 in 2020-2021. And the improvement is due to the improved performance in providing facilities including clean water and sanitation, affordable and clean energy, etc. Among the states, Kerala topped the state list with a score of 75, followed by Himachal Pradesh and Tamil Nadu at the second place with a score of 74. Bihar, Jharkhand and Assam were ranked at the bottom. They are categorized as worst performing states in the 2021 Sustainable Development Goals India Index. Among the union territories, Chandigarh topped the list with a score of 79, whereas Delhi is placed in the second place with a score of 68. Our next topic is about a recent study by World Bank on black carbon. So recently, a report has been published by World Bank, a research report has been published by World Bank on black carbon in the Himalayas, Karakoram and Hind Kush region. And what the report says? The report says that the glaciers in the Himalaya, Karakoram and Hind Kush mountain ranges, Himalaya, Karakoram and Hind Kush together known as HKHK mountain range or mountain region. So in this region, the glaciers are melting faster than the global average. This is what the report says. And the report was as per the recent research conducted by the World Bank on the impact of black carbon over the HKHK region. Now, what are the important findings of the research? Let me tell you that black carbon deposits are mostly produced by human activities. That means they are anthropogenic. The deposits are anthropogenic. Something which is caused by human activity is called as anthropogenic. It increases the impact of climate change and global warming, and the black carbon deposits increases the rate of melting of the glacier and snow in the HKHK region, Himalaya, Karakoram, Hind Kush region. Black carbon deposits act in two different ways to hasten the rate of glacier melting. Number one, by decreasing the albedo. Albedo is that phenomenon by which a substance gives back or radiates the heat coming from the sun or heat received by the sun. So as it decreases the albedo, that means the ice retains heat, the glacier retains heat, thus causing melting. Second one, by raising atmospheric temperature, because this black carbon has a unique property of retaining the atmospheric temperature. So retaining the heat coming from the sun, so it raises atmospheric temperature. In this way also it causes melting of glacier. And the rate of retreat of glacier in the HKHK region is found to be 0.3 meters per year in the western side, whereas 1 meter per year in the eastern side. That means it is melting faster in the eastern side in comparison to the western side. Now, what steps can be taken to minimize or slow down the process? Okay, and proper implementation of the present policies can reduce the black carbon deposits by around 23% in the region. The new and sustainable policies can also reduce the rate of retreat by another 50% from the present levels. Reducing black carbon emissions from chullas, kerosene stoves, diesel engines, forest fire, etc. in the Hind Kush, Karakoram and in the Himalayas, Karakoram and Hind Kush region may significantly reduce the impact of a black carbon. If we will talk about black carbon, then let me tell you that it is the second largest contributor to the global warming after carbon dioxide. Black carbon is a short-lived pollutant. Unlike other pollutants, unlike carbon dioxide, it is a short-lived pollutant because it gets washed out quickly. That means what? If once the emissions are stopped, if once the cause of adding more black carbon to the atmosphere is stopped, then it can be eliminated from the atmosphere. Black carbon has a localized source and with greater impact in that local region only. Black carbon is released through the incomplete combustion of fossil fuels, biofuel, biomass, etc. The sources of black carbon is mostly anthropogenic, as I told you earlier, and the source of black carbon in Himalayan region can be categorized as industry and residential burning of solid fuel, which contributes around 45 to 66% of the total black carbon emission. On-road diesel fuels that causes 7 to 18% to the black carbon emission, and open burning contributes less than 3% to the emission. Chemically, black carbon is an aerosol. Aerosol is a chemical substance. It is a chemical state of particles where the solid particles or liquid particles remain suspended in air. So liquid or solid particles when remain suspended in air, it is called as an aerosol. And black carbon is a form of an aerosol. Let us now talk about the Himalaya Karakoram Hindkush region. Okay, so HKHK stands for Himalayas, Karakoram and Hindkush mountain region. The region spreads through 8 countries. They are Afghanistan, Pakistan, India, Nepal, China, Bhutan, Bangladesh and Myanmar. The region has some of the tallest mountains of the world, including Mount Everest and K2. The glaciers in the region feed into some of the largest river systems in the region. They are Ganga river system, Yangtze river system, Irrawaddy river system. Irrawaddy river system is there in Myanmar. Yangtze river system is there in China. Mekong river system in the Southeast Asian countries through Laos, Cambodia and Vietnam. It flows through Laos, Cambodia and Vietnam. And Indus river system through India and Pakistan. Nearly 2 billion people are dependent upon the rivers originating from the region. The region is also known as third pole because of large ice deposits in the region. Because this region, along with China's Tian Shan mountains, has most ice deposits outside both the poles, North Pole and South Pole. Now, what may happen due to the glacier melt? Glacier melt may cause flash floods, may cause landslides, may cause soil erosion and glacial lake outburst floods. That one that recently happened in Uttarakhand. Okay, glacial lake outburst floods. Our next topic is about Devika River project. Recently, the Ministry of State for Development of Northeastern Region has sought suggestions for the Devika River project in Udhampur, Jammu and Kashmir. If we'll talk about the project, then Devika River project is like the Namami Gange project, and the cost of the project is approximately rupees 190 crore. The project started in March 2019 under the National River Conservation Plan. The project includes development of bathing ghats or bathing places on the banks of Devika River, removal of encroachments, restoration of natural water bodies, development of catchment areas, development of the cremation grounds, construction of 3 sewage treatment plants in the region, construction of a sewage network of 129.27 km long, development of small hydropower plants and development of 3 solar power plants. So these are the projects included under the Devika River project. The project will reduce water pollution in the Devika River and also improve the water quality. If we will talk about Devika River, then Devika River originates from the hilly Suddha Mahadev temple in Udhampur district of Jammu and Kashmir, which merges with Ravi River in western Punjab, which is at present a part of Pakistan. The river holds religious significance because it is referred as the sister of river Ganga by Hindus. Devika Bridge was inaugurated in Udhampur in June 2020. Devika Bridge removed traffic congestion in the region and also helped smooth passage of army convoys and vehicles. Next, if we will talk about the National River Conservation Plan, Then let me tell you that it is a centrally funded scheme which was launched in 1995. Its main aim is to prevent the pollution of rivers. Now the programs of which are river conservation are implemented under National River Conservation Plan and National Ganga River Basin Authority. So this is all for today in current affairs. We will back with another lecture tomorrow.